From beautiful Wrigley Field on Big Ten night, we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Beautiful night for Cubs baseball. It's the Marlins and Cubs in Game 2 of a 3-game series. Great to have you with us. 4 weeks to go starting tonight. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. A 4-3 Miami win yesterday. Giancarlo Stanton, you know, we talk about Castro and Rizzo in their age 23 seasons. Same for Giancarlo Stanton, and he's going through some adjustments.
Yeah, indeed he is. And one thing, the one adjustment the Cubs made is they got him out yesterday, something they hadn't done in 9 consecutive games. He had a big series against the Cubs back in Miami earlier this year. This guy hits the ball as hard as anybody in the game. The numbers are down this year. He led all of Major League Baseball in slugging this year. He's had some hamstring problems this year. Clearly that's affected him somewhat. But last year, 290 hitter, 37 bombs, drove an 86, 969 OPS. Obviously the power numbers and the on-base numbers off a little bit this year, but he's a real good player.
And the supporting cast a little bit different for Stanton this year as well. Edwin Jackson will face right-hander Tom Kohler, and for Edwin it's been a tale of a couple of months, July and August.
Yeah, so happy to flip the calendar from August to September. He was really good in 5 July starts, 3-1 with a .183, but August, 5 starts, winless with a .597 ERA.
And Kohler, the right-hander, will pitch at Wrigley Field for the first time in his career. So yesterday, the Marlins got that big home run from their pitcher and beat the Cubs 4-3. The Cubs try to even the score tonight. We'll have the middle game of this 3-game set coming up next.
Who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to Wrigley. Cubs hosting the Marlins tonight. The breeze coming in off the lake. And a very lovely evening. Game 2 of this 3-game set. And just a few minutes ago, Staff Sergeant Guillermo Calderon was honored with the 33rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team Bravo Battery, 122nd Field Artillery, located in Crestwood, Illinois. Sergeant Calderon has completed 1 tour in Afghanistan and has been awarded the Bronze Star Medal and Combat Action Badge during 7 years of service with the Illinois Army National Guard. And we've got some roster moves. 4 players added to the mix, including 3 pitchers. Justin Grimm came over in that Texas deal. Matt Garza going there, so he's called up from AAA Iowa. Brooks Raley, the left-hander, we've seen him before in the big leagues, recalled from Iowa. J.C. Boscan has been here before. He was recalled, and Zach Rosscup had his contract selected. JD, he was in the Garza deal, but the other Matt Garza deal, he came over from Tampa Bay prior to 2011.
And finally, James Russell gets a little help from the left side out there in the bullpen. Now Dale Swain, for at least the month of September, will have a couple other options besides Russell when he's looking for a left-hander. And Russell's done yeoman's work, being the only guy out there pretty much all year long.
Dave Chappelle designated for assignment to make room for the left-hander Rosscup on the 40-man roster. Also great to have the Chicago Force women's tackle football team here, the champs. An 81-34 win over the Dallas Diamonds to win their first WFA National Championship title. So good to have them here at the ballpark as well. Sammy Grisafi did a great job with the national anthem as well.
Yeah, I think she's the quarterback.
She can sing.
Yeah, very, very talented. So they're going to have some fun here at the ballpark tonight. Chilly night here at Wrigley, but a beautiful night to play.
Well, I said 4 weeks to go, I guess minus a day, since this is kind of the night game kicking off this week. After tonight, the Cubs only have 2 home night games left on their schedule. So it's starting to dwindle here as we head into the month of September. Oh, my goodness.
I got nothing. Not sure what who those masks were supposed to be.
Well, we know Edwin Jackson is taking the mound, and he will face this Miami Marlins Southwest starting lineup. 435 runs, the fewest in the majors, even though they won yesterday 4-3. Chris Coghlan will get his first big league action at third. Donovan Solano's at second. Christian Yelich, a homer yesterday among his 3 hits. Stanton, the cleanup man, in right. Justin Ruggiano's in center. Logan Morrison gets his first start of the series at first. Adeiny Echeverria's at short. Jeff Mathis, the catcher, and the pitcher, Tom Kohler.
And the Cubs defensively, Junior Lake gets the night off, so it's Bogusevic, Sweeney, and Shearholtz in the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Murphy spells Darwin Barney at second. Anthony Rizzo at first. Castillo behind the plate. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Edwin Jackson. He's 7-14 with a 4.90 ERA through 26 starts. He's been really, really good in this ballpark of late. His last 5 home starts, he's 4-1 with a 1.07 ERA.
Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire. Ed Hickox at first. The crew chief Jim Joyce at second. And Jeff Nelson is over at third. So that's your umpiring crew.
Edwin has not had a lot of success against the Marlins in his career. He's 1-6 with a high ERA, higher than 6.39 to be exact. But we're going to find out if it's the shirts or the guys in the shirts, because this is a new look Marlin club.
If you want to know who's pitching tomorrow, we can tell you. We knew Jeff Samardzija was going to pitch for the Cubs at 1:20, and we'll have it for you here on CSN. Left-hander Brian Flynn will go for the Fish. He'll make his big league debut. So here's Coghlan, activated off the DL a couple of days ago. Missed 73 games with a right calf injury. And has played almost exclusively in the outfield in the bigs, but he's starting at third tonight. And we're underway.
He played a lot of second base in the minor leagues, did play some third base as well. Was a third baseman in college. They're just trying to find a way to get his bat in the lineup, trying to generate more offense.
National League Rookie of the Year, Chris Coghlan. Battled some injury problems in his career. And 2009 was his Rookie of the Year campaign. Veteran Jackson coming back. That's low, and it's 3-0 on the Marlins leadoff hitter.
Coghlan is the 2009 Rookie of the Year, and that's instructive because so many times a young player comes up, has success, and the thinking is, well, he's good and he's only going to get better. Not necessarily the case.
He's already 28 years old. There's the first strike, caught the inside corner to make it 3-1. Solano and Yelich, and if anybody reaches, Stanton here in the Miami first. Fouled away into the upper deck.
Talk about that good work Edwin has done in this ballpark lately. He started the year 0-5 here with an ERA of 7.83. That was his first 6 home starts. And then he's got on that real nice run here, which has not allowed more than 1 earned run in those last 5 home starts.
Driven in the air to deep center. Ryan Sweeney's back on it. He reaches up and he makes a catch and tried to soften the blow as he went into the vines. Remember, coming back from the broken rib. Nicely done.
Yesterday or maybe the day before, he was quoted as saying, well, if I have to run into a wall, I'll run into a wall. This time, real good route on this deep drive by Coghlan, a bit for extra bases. Just enough time to brace himself a little bit before running into the ivy, and more importantly, the bricks behind it. A little feedback from his pitcher saying thank you. Thanks for picking me up.
Here's Solano, the second baseman. Hitless in 4 trips in the 7th spot yesterday afternoon. That was against a lefty, but against the righty, he moves up to the 2 hole. Another ball. Hit hard, and this time pretty much right at Sweeney. Edwin's saying, well, the good news is I've gotten 2 outs, but I'm not so sure I like the loud noises.
That's all right. It's a results-driven business.
Yeah, you can relate, right? Take the outs.
Take the outs. Just realize you got away with maybe a mistake. Well, this kid, good-looking young hitter.
3 for 4 with first inning homer on Monday afternoon. 2-0. Well, that's part of the process in terms of changing things up here for Edwin, not getting behind these hitters. Went to a 3-ball count on Coghlan, and he's 2-0 here on Yelich. Another ball hit hard, this time for a single.
Yelich with 3 hits yesterday. He pulled a breaking ball for a home run to right field. Sharp single to the left, another base hit to center field. That's the type of hitter he is. He uses the whole field. He'll hit the fastball the other way, but he's capable of pulling the ball as well. He's 21 years of age. Appears to have a very bright future.
Now Stanton, we talked about him in the open. He's still just 23. He's battled injury this season. It's 36 games with a right hamstring problem early in the season. Still a very dangerous presence in this lineup. The reasons the Cubs got Edwin Jackson, his durability. on pace to get to 30 starts for his 7th consecutive year. One of just 8 pitchers going into this season with 30 plus in the last 6 in a row. One and two. Stan's hitting just 245, but he looks hitterish all the time.
He's ready to swing the bat. You mentioned in the open an 0 for yesterday, but hit the ball extremely hard twice, both on the ground. A rocket to third and then a sharp ground ball to short that turned into a double play. Infielders take an extra step back when he steps into the batter's box. Yelich can run a little bit. He's 4 out of 4 in steal attempts. Decent numbers as a minor leaguer in the stolen base department.
Yelich takes off. The pitch is outside for a ball and throws on the shortstop side.
Yelich 5 for 5. That's 18 steals, only 1 caught with Edwin on the mound.
Long strides. Got a shot, but the throw had to be perfect to get him.
Well, a little bit out of sync there, a little off balance, trying to set his feet to make the throw.
Time 2-2 on Stanton. Ruggiano on deck. There's not an infielder anywhere near second. Stanton chased a slider way out of the zone. And Jackson gets out of it. Got some help. First batter of the game robbed of extra bases by Ryan Sweeney. Cubs are coming up. By Southwest. Castro, Valbuena, and Rizzo. You see what Anthony's done against his hometown team. Had a 2-homer game in Miami. Sherholtz, Sweeney, and Murphy, the former Marlin, in the middle. Bogusevic, Castillo, and Jackson rounded out.
The Fish in the field feature Yelich, Ruggiano, and Stanton in the outfield. Coghlan, talked about him making his first ever start at third base in the big leagues. Echeverria, the shortstop. Solano, second base. Logan Morrison's the first sacker. Jeff Mathis behind the plate for our Lexus starting pitcher, right-hander Tom Kohler, 27 years old. Started the year in the bullpen, moved into the rotation. 3-9, 472.
And a first pitch strike on Castro.
Fastball, curve, slider change. Had a cup of coffee with the Marlins last year.
Drilled the other way for a base hit. Starlin on the homestand now 7 out of 16.
Well, looking to finish strong and been swinging it well lately. The aggressive fastball from Kohler. Good swing of the bat by Castro. Kohler's had first inning problems this year in his starts. He has a first inning ERA of 8.
Outside for a ball on Luis Valbuena. Kohler was born in the Bronx, New York. 27 years old, went to New Rochelle High School and then Stony Brook University. 18th rounder of the then Florida Marlins in 08. 1-1.
There's that Valbuena check.
I love it. Kohler pitching in this park for the first time. He faced the Cubs in relief earlier this season in Miami.
Good curveball. Also throws a slider and a change to go with a fastball that'll sit right around 92, 93.
There's that fastball, a little sink on it, 1-2. Rizzo on deck.
Two-seamer, a little sink, little run. Well placed. They're the Seawolves, Stony Brook University.
Division.
They played D1 baseball. They almost went to the College World Series, I think, a couple of years ago.
Really?
Maybe while he was there. I don't know. They've a pretty good program. Had some fairly high picks come out of there in recent years.
And missed badly, 2-2. Joe Nathan went to Stony Brook. The other big leaguer from there. That ball is not caught. They're going to get 1 and 2. 3, 6, 1. Boy, the double play ball loomed large yesterday as the Cubs hit into 3 of them, including the game ender.
Yeah, so the game begins today similarly to the way it ended yesterday. Valbuena, thinking this ball was caught on a line, hesitated. I don't think he was going to beat the play at first base anyway.
Ball 1 to Rizzo. On a hop to second, it's Solano. And that's it. Yeah, Travis Jankowski, drafted in the first round out of Stony Brook last year. Good call, partner. And a 1, no score.
Go Seawolves.
Ready for the Marlins second, 0-0. Justin Ruggiano, the center fielder.
And before we get too far along, I don't want to incur the wrath of Seawolf fans everywhere. They did go to the College World Series last year, 2012.
Okay.
Stony Brook, for the record. Pretty night.
Oh, great. 67 degrees and east wind at 6. Big cut and a miss by Ruggiano, 1-2.
Jackson's on his game. He'll get a lot of ground balls with his sinker. He'll get a lot of swings and misses with his slider, as he did with Stanton to finish the first, and that one there to Ruggiano.
Product of Texas A&M. Justin Ruggiano, acquired from Houston in late May last year and was terrific in 91 games with the Marlins, a .313 average, OPS over 900. Now with a .222 average, he is slugging .405. It's been an awful year in that regard. 16 home runs, 104 games. Morrison and Echeverria to follow. Jackson throws and it's full, 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Wellington set the target on the outside edge, said get it down. He did, down below the zone, but close enough where Ruggiano was willing to take a whack at it. He too comes up empty. 93-mile-an-hour heater. Big Ten night here at the ballpark.
On his Twitter account, Logan Morrison writes, "To know me is to tweet with me." There's over 120,000 followers. 10 hours ago, he tweeted this: "Dear MLB, Logan Morrison, the Fish, would really love to play a 4-game series in Chicago next year. Thank you for your consideration." That's the tamest of his tweets.
Been in a little hot water last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not afraid to throw out his opinion on pretty much everything. He's had injury problems as well. Began the year on the DL, recovering from right knee surgery. Missed the first 3 months plus. Made his season debut on June 9th, which marked his first big league game since July 28th of last year.
Like Coughlin, his best big league work came when he first came to the big leagues.
Sweeney backpedaling on to the warning track to make the grab.
MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
Now the shortstop, Echeverria. Boy, what a game he had on May 5th against Roy Halladay. Bases loaded triple in the first, a grand slam in the third. About 7 RBIs and 2 at bats against Roy Halladay.
It's about a quarter of his output for the season.
He's got 30 knocked in. Floats that one down the line. It's fair. And he'll make his way to second with a 2-out double. Both Marlins hits coming after 2 were out.
Yeah, easy double, and with his speed, with a little misplay in the corner, maybe gets 3 bases, but Bogusevic hustling over to handle that carom. Mathis, the 8-hole hitter, up with a base open. Kohler, the pitcher, on deck. Mathis doesn't get a lot done with the bat. I'd go right after him. Have that pitcher leading off the next inning. Now for Henderson Alvarez, you definitely go after the 8-hole hitter.
That was impressive. He had 2 hits, including his first career homer yesterday. That ended up being the game winner. 2-1. Underway in Milwaukee, Andrew McCutchen in the top of the first with his 100th career homer. But the Brewers coming back with 2 in the bottom of the first and still batting. They lead 2-1. Pirates a game up on the Cardinals starting play tonight. Cardinals are in Cincinnati and they're scoreless in the 6th.
Homer Bailey, and is it Lance Lynn tonight?
Double check. It is Bailey. Michael Wacha.
Waka.
For the Cards. Two to Mathis. Just to share time with Mike Napoli with the Angels. He was, I guess, the better defender of the tandem. Career average of 198. Napoli was a guy who hit 20+ homers every year.
Mathis was supposed to be the backup here, but Brantley struggled.
Rob Brantley.
He's back. Just got called up.
Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning. Third on the evening for Jackson. After an inning and a half, we are scoreless. Enjoy Wrigley Field before the summer is over. The Cubs play one more tomorrow against Miami and then finish the homestand with 3 versus Milwaukee. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Comparison of the right fielders. Young Giancarlo Stanton limited to 92 games, but you see the numbers on Scherholz, who's having a career year. 20 bombs for Nate. OPS of 828 for Stanton, and one of the elite sluggers in all of baseball. And Scherholz hanging right there, having a very nice year. 497 slugging percentage for Nate, 14th best in the National League, just behind Joey Votto, right ahead of Jay Bruce.
And Scherholz trailing Stanton by about 45 points in the on-base percentage, but leading by about 30 in terms of his slugging.
He's got a higher slugging average than Freddie Freeman, Pedro Alvarez, Justin Upton.
And here he is, and he takes ball 1.
Now, if you go deep right now, it would just be a perfect little response.
A great capper to the discussion, for sure.
Blow, baby. Get out of here.
Pretty deep, but caught right up against the wall. It's Ruziano.
Got a pretty good ride. Just not quite enough. It is in super slow-mo, two-seam fastball up. So when that ball two-seamer's up, it's not going to sink. I had a little run, but not any sink. Stayed on plane, and Scherholz hit it hard.
Now Ryan Sweeney.
If flipping baseball cards is any indication, the wind has turned around a little bit. Tossed a couple during BP. They didn't go anywhere. They just threw and went all the way to the backstop. I don't know if that qualifies, get on the evening news with my weather report. But
that's science.
It's applied science.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Kohler with his first strikeout.
A good hook, as advertised. typically he'll use the curveball a fair bit more than the slider.
The ex-Marlin Donnie Murphy, parts of 3 seasons, 2010 through 2012, 117 games. He hit 8 homers total. He's already matched that home run total in just 25 games with the Cubs. Toward the hole, through, and a base hit. Murphy keeps the inning alive for Brian Bogusevic.
So we mentioned that Kohler went to State University of New York at Stony Brook, and that they're the sea wolves. I thought maybe that was just like a fictional creature, but there actually is a sea wolf.
Is it? Let me guess. Is it like a seahorse?
Well, it's the Atlantic wolffish, also known as the sea wolf, Atlantic catfish or ocean catfish.
Okay.
And the wolf eel is the common name for its Pacific relative. This is all from the Google machine. The marine fish, the largest of the wolffish family. Big long word that I'm not going to try to pronounce.
I saw wolffish over at the Aragon a few years ago. They were great.
Yeah.
2 full sets.
We got Jim Wolf behind the plate. This might be a little bit of a conspiracy. See how big the zone gets.
A sea wolf on the mound and a wolf behind the plate. On a couple of bounces to Echeverria, the shortstop. Inning over. Whatever you want to know about college nicknames, Jim DeShays has all that info. We love him for it. Nothing.
Softball field now go inside the life of Team USA's leading lady with inside look Jenny Finch. Hear her take on PEDs, learn why Chicago has a special place in her heart, and see how Finch has raised the profile of her sport worldwide. Watch Inside Look Jenny Finch tonight at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
third inning, and it's the pitcher Kohler. It's contact as he bounces one to Castro, and he's out 6-3. Let's get our Coors Light freeze cam. The first out of the game was a loud one. Ryan Sweeney making the grab on the warning track in straightaway center, robbing Chris Coughlin.
High marks from his starting pitcher saying thank you. Didn't want to start the game with a man on second, nobody out.
The wind and the 1-0 pitch is a strike. It's 1-1. Castro positioned up the middle. Made that play a lot easier than it would have been otherwise. Make sure you send us your comments on tonight's game through Twitter using hashtag CubsTalk, and we will read one back later on in the game. It's our AT&T tweet.
So he glides over and gobbles that one up. Coughlin hit the ball pretty hard twice tonight. Nothing to show for it.
That one laced out toward the alley. And Donovan Solano, who lined out his first at bat. Now 1 for 2 with a double.
Fair bit of hard contact here in the early going from the Marlin hitters. All three of their hits have come with 2 outs, though. Tough to put an inning together. When that is the case, but a good swing by Solano. He's an interesting guy in that. He had 2 home runs all of last year. They came in the same game. At 2 all of this year. He had 10 home runs as a minor leaguer and well over 2,000 plate appearances. So he doesn't have a lot of power. So to have 2 in one game in your rookie year, that's kind of odd.
Yelich with a runner at second and 2 outs. The pitch. Strike.
You don't want to give in and throw a cookie here to Yelich. You've got Giancarlo Stanton on deck. You don't want to face him with a couple of men on base. Just like the way this kid takes pitches. He just looks, he sees the ball really well, very quiet in the box. Got some real good instruction as a kid, or maybe it just came naturally to him, but looks like a hitter.
From Thousand Oaks, California.
And Westlake High School, same high school that produced Mike Lieberthal, among others. His grandfather, supposedly, was an art major, and his grandfather played in the NFL and apparently designed the helmets that the Rams wear, the yellow horn on the blue background.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yelich, the Marlins minor league player of the year each of the last 2 years, but he fans in this at bat. So Jackson's given up a 2-out hit each of the first 3 innings and no runs.
season. It's your chance to meet former, current, and future Cubs players through autograph sessions, Q&A panels, interactive experiences, and more. Book your room today at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers by calling and asking for the Cubs convention rate, or by visiting cubsconvention.com.
8, 9, and 1 in the Cubs batting order, starting with the catcher, Wellington Castillo. A little streaky lately. First pitch swinging, deep center. Ruggiano can't make the play. Castillo will have a double and is now 6 for his last 11.
Yeah, turn the clock back, 2-3 weeks he went through that stretch where he was hitting the ball hard like every at bat. The swing looked really good. Then he went into a little bit of a funk and seems to have it back. Watching him take BP today, the ball was really jumping off his bat. Ruggiano maybe pulled up a little too quickly. Not an easy play by any stretch.
Jackson's job's to get him to third.
That would have been a good one to go ahead and bunt. In a bunting situation, get a strike, go ahead.
Morrison charging from first. It's foul. He strikes out, couldn't hold up on the swing. So Jackson unable to get Castillo to third. Now, I want to warn you, this next thing we're going to show you is rather graphic, but since we've been talking about Seawolves, Stony Brook University, that's the nickname. This might be the ugliest animal ever used as a nickname in college sports history. That is a seawolf. Yeah, and in bad need of a trip to the orthodontist.
Yeah, I think their mascot actually looks more wolfish than sea wolfish, but yeah, that's not a handsome animal right there.
It's like something that fought Godzilla back in the 60s.
Yeah, it does. It kind of looks prehistoric.
Okay, get that image out of your mind. 1-0 on Castro. Up the middle and off the leg of Kohler. It bounces right to the third baseman Coughlin, and they get the out. Kohler's down, however. Castillo at third, 2 outs, but the Marlins have a problem with their starting pitcher. And remember, they had to take out Henderson Alvarez a little early yesterday. Let's see where it got him. Back of the knee.
Back of the right knee, it looks like.
Maybe a little lower than that.
Looking down at the shin.
I was going to say back of the knee. He went down in a heap.
Yeah.
But maybe got more bone than muscle.
Down at the fire station, all the boys are getting the gear on just in case. It's going to take more than that to get a Seawolf out of the game.
Kohler's all right. Well, we have a chance. A reminder, Sunday, don't miss the premiere of Bears pregame live on Comcast Sportsnet. CSN is your new home for the most comprehensive Bears game day coverage from a Chicago perspective. Join Chris Bowden and former Bears Dan Jiggets and Jim Miller for Bears pregame live. Sunday at 11 only on Comcast Sportsnet. That's a great panel. Bowden, Jiggets, Miller. So Castillo at third. It's Valbuena with 2 outs. And he pulls it foul.
Ooh.
He just got drilled.
Painful inning. He's not getting up quickly either. He just got back.
It looked like a very similar spot to where Kohler got hit. This one maybe on the ankle. It looks painful. Sounds painful.
Yeah, you get 93 on the ankle. That does not feel good at all.
Ed Halbert checking on him with the manager. I think it was the shot of the Seawolves.
Kind of upset the whole karma of the thing. Yeah.
Rizzo looks at a strike. Our AT&T U-verse multi-view, promising start to the inning. The double by Castillo, but there are 2 outs, runners at first and third. Cubs still trying to get on the board.
Two good curveballs in a row. As Kohler under pressure here goes to his best pitch. Just 3-9 with a 4.72 ERA, but he certainly has the pitches to be a successful major league pitcher. Kohler in his first full year in the big leagues, 27 years of age. A lot of talented young pitchers in their rotation. More on the way. We'll see one tomorrow. The Flynn kid, big lefty, makes his major league debut tomorrow. He throws the ball really well. So this is an important stretch for Kohler to kind of stake his claim to one of these rotation spots.
Ground ball, diving stop. Coughlin in his first game at third in the big leagues, and he gets the out at second. What a play by Coughlin to keep the Cubs off the board, and we remain tied at 0 after 3. Los Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. Gorgeous night here at the ballpark, and the Menards grounds crew manicuring the infield dirt.
Precision. Set that to music.
Boy, what a play by Chris Coghlan. Playing third base for the first time in his career. Prior to tonight, the only other infield time for Coghlan in the big leagues, 7 2/3 innings at second base. Ball 2 on Stanton. By the way, I don't think Coghlan was moved to third because they consider him a Gold Glove in waiting defender. It's because they've got a plethora of outfielders, and as you mentioned, they're not scoring runs.
Yeah, averaging right around 3 runs per game.
Three balls and a strike. And a leadoff walk. First time they've had a base runner with fewer than 2 outs. We get our Xfinity high-speed action.
4 punch-outs for Jackson tonight, all swinging. Good slider there to finish Mathis. Another good one. Got good stuff tonight.
Yeah, he does. Coming off a rough month of August, which followed up by far his best month of the year, July, with he had a 1.83 ERA.
Six and 2/3 last time against the Dodgers. Allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned.
Sweeney on the edge of the track. Stanton went about 2/3 of the way to second and will have to retreat.
Edwin allowed a couple of home runs last time out. Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier got him. All in all, though, not a bad start. Just bad timing up against that Dodger pitching staff. It was Ricky Nolasco with 8 shutout innings in that 4-0 Dodger win.
Two 2-0. Three and 0. Well, he walked Stanton to start the inning. Ruggiano then just missed one. Now he's 3-0 on Morrison. Echeverria in the on-deck circle. Ball 4. Was asked today on the radio, how do you explain Edwin's season? And it's a really good question. There has been some bad luck. You look at his FIP, his fielding independent pitching number. It's 3.68, whereas his real ERA is approaching 5. Batting average on balls in play, not terrible. The ground ball percentage is up this year. I think it's just a bad year. I mean, he looks physically the same as he has looked all year mechanically. Velocity, I think, has been pretty decent most of the year. Is it possible, guy just having a bad year?
Well, you know, he went through that stretch. There was a period of time there where he didn't have his good velocity early in games, so he ran into some early problems. It's kind of a sticking point for Dale. You know, he kept saying he needs to come out and have his best stuff early on.
Right.
Haven't seen a whole lot of that lately. Edwin 77 and 85 lifetime with a 4.45 ERA, so he's not, you know, in terms of the earned run average,
far off
his norms.
The OPS against, it's basically what it's been in his career. I mean, there's no one number other than the ERA and the record.
Well, he's keeping the ball in the park. He's only allowed 13 home runs all year.
I mean, nothing that just totally jumps out at you and you say that's why he's having the year he's having. 1-1.
I mean, you know, he could go on a nice run here and finish the month, and you know, at the end of the day, the numbers would look very similar to his career numbers. I mean, the wins and losses you almost have to discount when you analyze the starting pitcher.
Run support he's getting is actually better than his career average. Fouled back. I guess the best way to put it for me, and you can disagree, is that I'm not completely discouraged by the year he's had, nor am I particularly encouraged. I just think it's just been one of those years. And I don't think going into next year I necessarily change my opinion of the type of pitcher he is based on this particular year.
If you look at his career year by year, you know, you're seeing exactly what he is. You know, one year he steps up a little bit. His ERA is maybe half a run lower than the year before. Then it'll kind of swing back the other way. His greatest asset is the point you made earlier, the durability, the fact that he takes the ball every fifth day. It's a percentage play. When you talk about a starting rotation, you got at the top of your rotation, you want him to have, you know, X number of dominant starts and then a big percentage of really good starts and on down the line and just a few really bad ones. And when you get down to your fourth, fifth guy in the rotation, you know, they're just not all going to be that good, or you'd have a payroll of $250 million.
Yeah, your 1 generally matches up with a 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Your 5 doesn't always face a 1.
Right, and Edwin, you know, I think a lot of people are focusing on Edwin because he was the big free agent signing, got the 4-year deal. But he wasn't signed to come in and be the top of the rotation guy. He was meant to be a third, fourth type starter. When you look at his start by start, yeah, he's a little bit off this year, but no reason to think that he couldn't pitch better next year. And for me, the most encouraging thing is the way he's turned things around here in this ballpark. His numbers as a visiting player here were atrocious, and he started this year really poorly here at Wrigley. But as I mentioned earlier, 4-1, 107 in his last 5 home starts.
3-2. The runner's not going, and that ball is poked foul.
And you could certainly argue, well, wait a minute, TV analyst guy, you're talking about sample sizes all the time. That's 5 starts. We're supposed to believe he's got Wrigley Field figured out because he has a really low ERA over 5 starts. And I would say you're right, but at least you don't worry about that mental hurdle of, you know, having never had success here. He's kind of beyond that.
Another 3-2 on the way. Another foul. Echeverria. Making Edwin work here in the 4th inning. 0-0 tie. I think the only way next year we bring up this year a lot is if he continues to struggle next season. In other words, if he gets off to a decent start, I think you write off this year as what we just said, just a little bit of a down season.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to, it's easy, I think, to play the kind of the armchair psychologist and say, well, he signed that 4-year deal, new club, a lot of pressure, and that's why he performed poorly in April. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just circumstance. But 0-4 with a 6.27 ERA in April did not get off to a good start. Whether it was the burden of expectation, pressing a little bit, or just a bad start, I don't know. He seems to have the right temperament for the job. Comes to the ballpark every day with a smile on his face. Going through the down times. It didn't seem like he was dragging.
Yeah, he's been through it for a decade. His debut at age 20 on his birthday in 2003. Another 3-2. Castro will charge it. Little flip. And Murphy can't make a relay throw as Morrison was barreling in on him. First and third, 2 outs.
Yeah, not a lot of steam on this ground ball. Really took away any opportunity to get 2.
The pitch to Mathis is in there for a strike. Left center, Bogusevic coming over. He's got it. And Jackson able to work around a couple of walks and keep Miami off the board. The Marlins have stranded 5 through 4, and we're still scoreless. September 20th at 1:20. Fans who participate in the special event Budweiser Bleachers package will receive a special edition Cubs St. Patrick's Day hat. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/special events. We'll see how Kohler responds. Remember, he got hit in the lower leg in the previous inning. He got a little treatment in that long top half of the fourth. He'll face Sherholtz, Sweeney, and Murphy.
That's always the fear, that it would continue to tighten up in those downtimes between innings and be difficult to get it loose again. That's exactly how he's feeling right now. He looked like he was fine throwing the ball.
Great to see Angie DeMars, Max Markowski, and John Atlas at the ballpark tonight.
In relation to Charles?
Good question. I'll have to ask. I assume he prefers to be called Mr. 0-1 on Sherholtz. There's really no wind at the moment. Sherholtz strikes out. 3 for Kohler.
Marlins have pitched well.
Hey, the Williamses, Billy and Shirley. They've got pretty good seats. Bounces to third. You ever think Billy sits there watching these games and says, I can hit that guy?
Yeah. Shouting on advice to the hitters on deck.
Fun to talk hitting with Billy around the batting cage. So I asked Donnie Murphy, does anybody come up to you and hand you a baseball card of David Murphy or Daniel Murphy? David with the Rangers, Daniel with the Mets. He said, no, but I get asked a lot, am I related to those guys? And he is not. He does, however, have a brother named David. So when someone says, are you David Murphy's brother? He could say yes, even though it's a
not
different.
the one you're thinking of.
David, yeah. Cubs go down in order for the first time tonight. A very quick inning for Kohler. We go to the 5th. Scoreless. Brought to you by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. 3 Cubs minor league affiliates have made the playoffs. The Daytona rotation, really interesting. 3 guys who came over in trades earlier this year. Let's see, Black, Edwards, and I think even Pinheiro might be on that list as well. But it'll be fun to watch Daytona, Tennessee, and Boise this week.
Is Pierce Johnson down there too? I mean, you got a couple more drafts under their belt, 2 more trade deadlines under their belt, and you can kind of see, at least within the last year, no one knows who's actually going to pan out, but certainly they feel a lot better now than they did 12 months ago.
Tom Kohler with a leadoff single. 3rd hit of the series for Marlins pitchers.
Well, at least kept him in the ballpark. Sherrills wanted a shot at throwing him out. He was eyeing first base. Right fielders get greedy like that.
So Javier Baez, 37 homers combined, 111 RBIs. The runs knocked in led all of minor league baseball. He tied for 2nd in home runs. If he's not the Cubs minor league player of the year, there probably should be an investigation.
It's funny to think of how far he's come at such a really young age. And I got a chance to talk to Tim Wilkin yesterday, the Cubs old scouting director, who's still around. And I was just wondering how this guy kind of felt to them at number 9. And he said, they were basically a barnstorming kind of Harlem Globetrotters. That's what they called them, because they were kicked out of the Florida High School Athletic Association. They played in Puerto Rico, all over Florida, Tennessee, I think North Carolina. And he was someone who grew up in Puerto Rico, came to Florida, and I think he was kind of slow to maybe warm up to people. And I think they got a good chance to get to know him maybe better than others and felt pretty comfortable with him.
Coughlin flies to Sherholtz. Chris Coughlin 0 for 3, but a big defensive play in this game. I say, Cubs minor league player of the year. Baez will certainly be in competition for the Baseball America minor league player of the year. He has a chance to win a few awards.
Yeah, his numbers stack up really against anyone in baseball. And I think at this point, it's already kind of starting. Where's he going to play? And, I talked to Brandon Hyde today and said, he has every tool possible that you need to play shortstop at the big league level. He needs more experience, has to cut down his errors. But that, I think, is going to be the next, quarterback controversy here of where they're going to fit, him and Starlin and what they do kind of moving forward.
That's kind of the next question, JD, I think, is when you have a player whose offense is so much ahead of his defense, particularly a middle infielder, is how do you put those 2 things together and figure out when's the time to bring him up to this level?
And I think it depends on where you are as an organization. And if you're ready to compete and his bat is ready to play and he's adequate somewhere, you bring him to the big leagues. If you're not, quote unquote, ready to compete, then maybe you buy some more time and let him develop at that premium position. But it depends on where you are. If the Cubs thought that they were going to be in a pennant race next year and Javier Baez was ready to help with the bat, they'd find a place for him.
1-1 on Donovan Solano. Kohler at first. We're with our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney. 1-2.
Because I'm thinking if you're Javier Baez and you project, or at least if they project him as an everyday shortstop in the big leagues, if you have that skill set, then you could probably short-term handle third base, left field, somewhere else just to get the bat in the lineup.
Well, he's someone who played all over growing up. He was a catcher in high school for some time. They've seen him, as an amateur take balls at third base. And if he has this type of power, he could profile as an outfielder too. So there's obviously, a lot of options. I think what Cubs people love about him is he's a very instinctual player. He's a baseball player. He gets it. He's not just kind of an athlete.
Well, I don't want to put this kind of pressure on him, even though I'm going to compare him to a guy who's had a Hall of Fame track career. But I remember when Miguel Cabrera, and I think he was 20, came to the big leagues. Originally was a shortstop, moved to third. He debuted in the outfield. He was a left fielder. Then eventually came in to play third, went over to first, now back to third in Detroit. So the bottom line is he was ready to hit at this level, but maybe didn't find his ultimate destination defensively until a few years later. 3-2 the count. Kohler not running, and the ball is fouled back. So we've already, let's see, Gary Sheffield, Miguel Cabrera. Who else can we compare him to?
Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks.
Find out where they're going to put the statue for him.
Right.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Cubs being out hit 4-3, but they had the best opportunity. They had a runner at second, nobody out, and could not score. The kick in the 3-2, another foul. So the Cubs with some call-ups today. In terms of making way for young prospects, that's really not going to happen this month. Junior Lake's already here. He's going to see a lot of playing time down the stretch. I suppose maybe Logan Watkins could get a start or two at second against a non-contender, but by and large the team you've seen all year is the team you're going to see here over the final month. There is a base hit. Holder to second, first and second with one out, and that the rotation as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting thing of the last, say, 48 hours of Dale saying there's no room in this rotation. We're not really planning to make room for Scott Baker, and he said today, that's kind of news to me, but I get it. They have guys that have come over in trades. There's only so many innings left, and really this was a guy who the timeline kept getting pushed back, and I think they really wanted to see him in September to gauge where he's at and if he could come back next year if that one-year deal. And I think both sides were interested in that, and I think it will be interesting to see if they do find a spot for him, if he gets back in a big league game. That would be huge after missing all of last year.
Yelich the batter, 2 on with 1 out. Well, he even admitted today, and he said the key is to get outs, but his velocity is not where he would like it to be.
Yeah, I mean, JD knows better kind of getting back into it, but the velocity's not there. I think he's someone who took a very intelligent approach to his rehab. He studied everything. He asked all the right questions. I think it took him a while to get going. He had that setback in Mesa, and now it's kind of getting back to the point where you feel comfortable kind of letting it loose, at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, and that's, and I guess that's the big question. I mean, I think he's the type of guy who can pitch, without an overpowering fastball. I mean, he's always been a command guy, good breaking stuff, really knows how to pitch, keeps the ball down, that kind of guy. But there does come a point where big league hitters make you pay. If you're just, if you can't get enough on the fastball, I experienced it. You feel like the same guy, but if that velocity is a couple miles below where you've lived most of your career, all of a sudden they're jumping on stuff.
1-2. Dale was asked that very question. How many right-handers today can throw 85 miles an hour and have a lot of success? He said it's very hard to do unless you're just pinpoint with your control.
Yeah. Unless you're R.A. Dickey.
I've got a trick pitch. 2 on, 1 out. Stanton on deck. And now 2-2. Interested to see Zach Rosscup, who was not on the 40-man roster. The Cubs had to make room for him. He came over with Matt Garza from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's funny though, between that and all the other guys that came over from Texas. Groom was saying, we were on Garza watch, which seems like for weeks. He's like, no, man, I just kind of was in the clubhouse one day and someone told me they saw I was traded on Twitter, and that's how I found out. So between Rosscup and, you look at this, if the Cubs kind of get good after some of these fire sales, they had, the Dempster trade, the Soto trade, and this, there's almost 10, whatever it is, 8 guys from a very good Rangers system. It'll be interesting to see which one of those guys pan out.
See how aggressive Mike Redmond is here. Full count, 1 away in a scoreless tie in the 5th. Not going, and that ball's driven out to left center. Bogusevic going after it. He won't catch it. Coming around to score is the pitcher Kohler. Solano is going to be held at third. It's a double for Christian Yelich. He's got 5 hits in this series. 1-0 Miami.
A lot of hard contact tonight. This fastball poured right over the heart of the plate, and Yelich is pretty well dialed in. That's a good-looking swing. Fuller, the pitcher at second base, not a whole lot of experience on the bases, so he took a little longer to read that one than most other guys.
Trouble looming, and the infield is in. Not all the way to the grass. Why would you with this guy at the plate?
That's one when you look in the dugout and they pull you in as an infielder, especially on the pull side, you're like, are you sure? You want to reconsider this, Skip?
Last thing for you, Patrick. We've noticed just a change in body language. Starlin Castro's playing both sides right now with a little more swagger.
Yeah, I think he reached that point where he kind of figured, I need to get back to what made me successful up here a couple of years ago. And it's not that he's ignoring or disregarding everything this coaching staff has told him. I think it's kind of incorporating it, and then also, like you said, getting that swagger back. I think he needed it, and especially for someone who kind of drifts at times, I think it really helps him, when he's going good at the plate and he's into every pitch. And I think this will be one of those years, the Cubs will write off and they'll look back, years from now as probably a pretty good learning experience for him.
See Stanton 155 in this spot so far this season. 1-1 the count. Patrick, as always, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.
CSNChicago.com. Check it out. Jackson trying to limit the damage here in the fifth. To me, that number, the scoring position number for Stanton, I think says a lot about runners in scoring position. If all of a sudden the Marlins said he's available, how many teams would go, well, we like him, but he's only hitting 155 with men in scoring position, so I don't think we're that interested.
Yeah, that would not be part of the conversation.
And that average will go up a little bit as he knocks in Solano. Yelich will stop at third. It's 2-0 Miami.
Ball comes off his bat harder than probably any hitter in the league. Hitting the ball on the line on the ground a little bit more this year. That's why his home run rate is down some. Not sure what the intent was with this pitch. I thought they'd pitch around him in this at bat with the base open. Base runners in every inning. In the fourth, it was a couple of walks. Hard contact earlier, but Edwin was able to pitch around and got some big strikeouts to finish off innings.
Four hits here in the fifth. Early action in the Cubs bullpen. Good to see Alberto Cabrera back in the big leagues. Ruggiano fouls. 2.
Slider away.
Castro, just we're talking about that defense. Makes the error. Ruggiano will get an RBI. It's 3-0.
It looked like Castro got kind of between a little bit on this ground ball, whether to come and get it or to lay back. He started to come in and then slammed on the brakes. Couldn't handle the short hop. It's been very interesting at second base with Stanton charging into second base. Donnie Murphy tried to turn a double play on the if Castro had gotten him a clean feed.
Two on for Morrison.
And when approaching 100 pitches, he's at 96. And 1 out in the 5th.
Slider in there. It's 1-1. Shook off his sign, now finds the one he wants, and the 2-1 in the left. Bogusevic coming on to make the grab. So that's out number 2, and here comes the 8th batter of the inning, Echeverria. And remember how the frame started? The pitcher singled.
Cubs have won just 5 of their last 23 home games, hoping to get things turned around on this homestand with 3 sub-500 clubs, Phillies, Marlins, and Brewers. They managed to take 2 out of 3 from the Phils, but dropped the opener of this series last night. Now find themselves down 3 here to the Fish.
One and one on the Marlins shortstop. Jackson up over 100 pitches.
Hasn't really been able to establish inside tonight against the right-handed hitters. Mostly fastball, slider, and primarily staying middle away. work hard in a little bit early on. If you establish in, you get away with a few more mistakes typically. Important to make those hitters aware of both sides of the plate.
Up in the air, down along the right field line. It'll be Scherholtz to finally end the frame. 4 hits, an error, 3 runs in, and a couple stranded. Bottom 5th, 3-0 Marlins.
Three cheese queso love to the Chicagoland area. Opt into Qdoba's mobile club by texting Q to 50500 to receive free chips and queso.
Some work to do here. Edwin Jackson's probably done after 5. His spot due up 3rd here in the bottom of the 5th. Edwin labored tonight. Made 104 pitches in his 5 innings. Deep left center and gone. Brian Bogusevic with a home run, and the Cubs are on the board. That's his 3rd.
Ford home run replay shows a real good swing of the bat from Brian Bogusevic. Line drive home run the other way. Went down and got it. 1-0 heater. Down, but over the heart of the plate. That's a good looking stroke. That's what he's so good when he's thinking that way. You know, I've seen him in the past roll over on that ball, ground balls to second base, but when he stays through it, good things happen.
Two 2-0 on Castillo. Junior Lake on deck for Jackson. Leadoff home run followed by a 3-0 count. This out to talk it over with Kohler.
Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, will tell Kohler at some point, probably tomorrow, hey, don't let that home run scare you out of the strike zone. Trust your stuff. Just one swing of the bat.
Comes Chuck Hernandez after Kohler's first walk. Time now for our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Junior Lake and J.B. Shuck of the Angels top the rookie leaderboard in hits here in the second half.
It's a beautiful graphic.
It's very graphic. Not quite as graphic as the Seawolves.
Seawolf NATO.
Swing and a miss by Lake.
Yeah, they did their homework. They know Junior likes to go up there swinging, so they start him with a good breaking ball.
Lefty Dan Jennings with Reed Cornelius, the bullpen coach, watching. Almost said Cornelison. Jim Cornelison on the brain. 0-2.
Jim's getting ready to go back to work here pretty soon, isn't he?
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Reds leading 1-0 over the Cardinals in the ninth. In fact, it might be over. It is final. Chapman came on, struck out the side.
That's a shocker. Speaking of dominant closers, see where Joe Girardi story today was saying that he is planning on advising Mariano Rivera not to retire, to reconsider his retirement and come back and pitch next year.
From 0-2 to 3-2.
Mariano would have to give back all those retirement gifts he got. You might get a heater here, Junior, but I don't think you can sell out on one.
Just missed ball 4. Kohler creating his own problems here with back-to-back walks after the Bogusevic homer.
One back to the curveball, just didn't finish it. Drifted off the plate inside a little bit, borderline. Jennings down in the pen, throwing with more urgency now.
Here it is, and it's a strike. Time for AT&T tweet. Indy Cubs fan wants to know Starlin's career average in the leadoff spot. 89 previous starts, 312 batting average, 360 on base, 449 slugging. It's been a good spot for him.
That's this year?
That's in his career.
That's career.
Yep. Highest average of any spot in the order.
What was he on base?
360.
take that.
That's really good. Slider off the plate, 1-2. He was 0-2 on Lake before walking it.
Pretty good take right there by Castro. That's a pitch he chases quite often. Wrigley Field, not the ideal spot when September call-ups come. Dugouts aren't big, bullpens are crowded. He's climbing all over each other down there.
Still 1-2. Here it is. Outside again.
Seen him well. A little late on the previous fastball. That's because he's guarding against that breaking pitch off the plate. That's okay. Down on the count, you got to battle. He's hanging there.
Mentioned Javier Baez earlier. He did not win the USA Today minor league player of the year. Xander Bogaerts did with the Boston Red Sox. On the inside corner. Took one too many. Not so sure the call, but that's the first out.
Whether it was in the zone or not, a pretty well executed pitch, and it was off the plate inside. That was a good AB by Castro. Good pitch to ultimately go in by Kohler. Tough for a hitter to react to that inside fastball after all the work he did away.
See, I know fans are going to disagree with me, JD. I think it's a good take. The pitch was out of the strike zone, and I think it serves him best to not swing at that pitch with 2 strikes. If he does, he probably misses it. If he doesn't, he probably bounces one to third, and it's a double play.
Yeah, I think there was nothing he was going to do with that pitch anyway.
I think that's one thing a young player, a young hitter has to learn, right? That just because it's called a strike doesn't mean, well, next time I have to swing it.
Right.
That's not what it means.
Right, and it's not necessarily, the old adage up in the booth, and you hear it all the time as well. You're going to have to start swinging at that if he's going to call it. But just because he called it then doesn't mean he's going to call it again.
Right.
I think any hitter is going to be vulnerable to a good inside fastball when he's in protect mode.
Ball got on the field. I don't think anybody realized it until the pitch was thrown, and the first base umpire did. That's Ed Hickok, so that pitch did not count.
It's about the third one that's gotten loose down there. Either Jennings is a little wobbly or the bullpen catcher's having a bad night.
Big swing by Valbuena, 1-2. Jackson really struggled through the top of this inning, and now it's Kohler's turn. Homer and back-to-back walks before the strikeout of Castro.
See it happen all the time to a pitcher. He's going inning by inning, hitter by hitter, and then all of a sudden he's got a 3-run lead. He's in the 5th inning, first ever start here at Wrigley Field. Maybe starts to get out of his game plan a little bit, starts to think bigger. I got a chance to pick up a W here at Wrigley. This is kind of fun. Loses the focus a little bit. Starts pitching to protect the lead as opposed to attacking hitters.
They are loaded, all on walks.
Yeah, Rizzo coming to home plate with the lefty ready to go in the pen, so decision time for Mike Redmond. Decision has been made.
That's it. Kohler will not be able to get a win tonight. Had a 3-0 lead going into this bottom of the 5th, and he'll exit with 1 out. The Honda call to the pen. Cubs trailing by 2, but threatening big time. We'll be back. And it is left-hander Dan Jennings. They've had a guy in their front office for a long time, vice president of player personnel and assistant general manager named Dan Jennings, but no relation. As you check out his numbers.
Pretty good strikeout numbers. Walk rate a little higher than you would like. He was up for 22 games with the Marlins last year. And I suspect we're going to see a first pitch slider.
What about the second pitch?
First one's going to get hit in the gap.
Okay. Here we go. Bases loaded. Rizzo sends one high in the air, twisting toward the seats and out of play.
Gap between those 2 rows of seats. I think Rizzo was looking for that slider. He just didn't to swing on it he'd hoped to. Fastball slider split. Lefties just fastball slider from Jennings to the left-handed hitters. Better one there.
Well, this is his inning, and nobody up in the bullpen, and because Sherholtz and Sweeney will follow Rizzo. Here's the 1-1 ground ball foul. 1-2.
Kohler 4 1/3, responsible for the 3 men on base. charged with 1 run so far, cannot win this game. He ultimately could be the loser if the Cubs were to plate all 3 of these runs and go on to win the game without surrendering that lead. There you go. Get after it, girl.
Fly ball well hit to right. Stanton will make the catch right on the edge of the track. Boy, Rizzo just missed one. He picks up a sac fly, though, his 73rd RBI. It's now 3-2. Runners at the corners. Castillo scored. Lake also able to advance to third.
Well, maybe an inch on the bat from the sweet spot, the difference between a sac fly and a grand slam. Maybe just a little bit down towards the end. Good swing, though. You see the hands come through high. Top hand turns over.
Now Scherholtz. Lake sneaking down the line and a swing and a miss on a slider. In the dirt.
With the call-ups, difficult to gain the advantage in the batter's box. Both managers now have a lot of options from both the right and left side. 4 lefties in the Marlin bullpen.
I am not a huge fan of this September roster situation, and I think they will make a change eventually.
Look at Lake coming down that line.
Halfway down the line when the pitch was delivered. Coghlan playing well off the bag.
Green light, green light, green light. Go for it.
Yeah, I really think we're getting to the point where you're going to have a taxi squad in September and have a game day cap.
Yeah, do it like hockey and basketball, right? You have so many guys on the roster, but only so many are available for that day's game. Archimedes Caminero, the mathematician. This guy could throw 100 miles an hour.
Got in on him. Slow roller to second. Solano gets the out at first. Cubs get 2, though, and trail by a run at the end of 5. The new Mesa facility will have features reminiscent of Wrigley Field with a unique Arizona feel. Fans can place a $100 refundable deposit to secure their priority seating for season tickets. The seating selection process begins this fall, and for details go to Cubs.com/Mesa. Here's Alberto Cabrera. 25 big league games last year. A 1-1 record. And you see what he did at Iowa. Also spending time as a starter with Tennessee. So he started at Double-A. 18 starts, 9 wins, a .320. And at Iowa, 15 relief appearances and a very high earned run average.
Now, really good down at Double-A. Worked just 20 in the third innings out of the Iowa bullpen. It could be just 1 or 2 really bad outings could greatly influence that ERA in just 20 innings of work. It's fastball, slider, and a change for Cabrera.
24 years old, 6'4", 210. The Cubs signed him in 2005 of the Dominican Republic. Cute foul by Mathis. Veteran and former Cub Juan Pierre on deck to bat for Jennings.
Like so many young pitchers, good lively arm, command issues.
Swing and a miss on the slider.
Good start. Last year with the Cubs in 21 2/3 innings, he struck out 27. That was the good. The bad, 18 walks. So far, so good in 2013 for Cabrera.
So Pierre in a bit of an unfamiliar role. He had a stretch from 2003 to 2007. All 3 years with the Marlins the first time around. The 1 year here in Chicago in 2006, and then his first year with the Dodgers, he played every game. 5 straight years, 162 games. This is just his 92nd appearance here in 2013. I had a long chat with him. Recently turned to 36. And he has no plans to hang it up after the season. He said, if somebody wants me, I'd like to keep playing. And he lines one for a base hit. One of the hardest workers I've ever been around. And I hope he is able to continue his 14-year career. He said it's a lot different now. So when I was playing every day, I didn't look to the left or the right. I had the blinders on looking straight ahead. But he has a much better perspective now on things, that he has time to watch, which you can understand. That'll be it for Cabrera. Yep, September baseball, you can match up in the 6th.
Here we go.
So
settle in, folks.
We are going to see a big league debut when we come back. The Honda call to the pen. big are the butterflies in Zach Rosscup's stomach right now? 25 years old. From Clackamas, Oregon, outside of Portland.
Yeah, you know that heart is pounding right now. Making his major league debut, could probably barely feel his legs.
To Chemeketa Community College in Oregon. He's the 4th Oregon native on this roster. Facing Coughlin, and he'll fire over to first. Probably see some sliders here in this at bat.
And really grab your attention in the stat line, the strikeouts. 83 punch outs in 51 innings combined at AA and AAA.
Having a lefty should help with the base running situation as well. Pierre with 611 steals. As Coughlin fouls back.
Pierre with 20 bags again this year, 20 out of 26 for the veteran. Lifetime 75% success rate.
He's the active leader in stolen bases. He will go at some point, especially with his team leading. There he goes. Like a pitch out, and it's still not going to get him. I was talking with Mike Redmond yesterday about some younger players. They've given the go sign, not just the green light, but go. They want their guys to run, and some young guys, they're just a little hesitant to run. Juan Pierre's never hesitated to run.
That's a big part of the reason why he stayed in the big leagues as long as he has. Not going to hit the ball over your head very often, but he can get on and steal a bag for you. Yeah, in a lot of ways, that, you know, the modern player, a lot of younger guys, the steal sign to them is just a suggestion.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, because they do talk about guys with a green light. If you get a good jump, go. But there are other times where managers say, I want you to go on this pitch, and you know, why didn't you go? I just didn't get a good jump. Slow it down a little bit. Deep breaths. It's amazing how something you've done for so much of your life all of a sudden can feel so foreign.
Well, I guess the saying would be you never forget your major league debut, but probably a lot of guys, it's just a big blur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you read about it later and you kind of fill in the detail. Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember that happening.
Coughlin could not hold up. Jim Wolf made the call. Coughlin pulling a Luis Valbuena, saying, well, why don't you ask the guy at third?
Yeah,
Two down.
Made. Rizzo. They're going to take that ball out of play. Rizzo is going to have him throw the ball out of play to save his first major league strikeout. I like it. Nobody does this.
That's great.
I'm a big proponent of that. They just get the ball from their first big league knock.
Yeah, and it probably takes another player to do it, because if Rosscup does it,
the Marlin dugout would have exploded on him had he done it. You know, they would have been screaming at him. What, are you afraid you're not going to get another one?
Here's Solano, and Pierre takes off for third, and he's going to get it. Standing.
This Cup never checked him. He had a big lead, huge jump. You only take that bag when you know for sure you can make it.
Well, it's a good time, I think, to note that the Reds won 1-0 tonight. Billy Hamilton with a stolen base and scored the only run.
I'm anxious to see him play.
Yeah, we will see him next week.
Don't know how much they're going to use him, but what a weapon they have with that speed.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Came on as a pinch runner. That also makes sense. Billy Hamilton's got to make his major league debut as a pinch runner. Then he beat a throw by Yadier Molina and would come around on a double to score the only run of the game. It's full 3-2.
You got a lefty on deck, but it's Yelich. I'd rather not deal with him.
Ball 4. Cubs have had enough of Yelich at this point. A homer, 3 hits yesterday. 2 out of 3 with an RBI double here tonight. He takes a strike on a slider. They're in the 8th in Milwaukee. Pirates and Brewers tied at 2. Pirates will be in sole possession of first no matter what happens. Game up going into today, and the Cardinals lost.
Good try. I think you're doing, especially with a lefty on the mound, I think you're doing Yelich a favor if you just throw him sliders away. There's some left-handed hitters you can just go slider, 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 and they're going to pull off. But he's shown the ability to stay in and hit the ball the other way. So good idea to try to go in with that fastball. That opens up the slider away.
Solano runs. Cubs not worried about him. 2-2. Third steal here in the inning, all off Ross Cup. Bogusevic back on it, and he has to leap to make the grab on the warning track. That ball hit a little harder than he originally thought. They strand 2 in scoring position, still 3-2 Miami. This series here at Wrigley Field. Our coverage kicks off at 12:30 with Papa John's pregame live. Watch Cubs and Marlins tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Here's right-hander Ryan Webb. Marlins lead 3-2.
Ground ball pitcher. Sinker, sinker, sinker. Also a slider. Hitters are mostly focusing on that sinking fastball from Ryan Webb.
One and one to Sweeney. Webb recently created his own intro song.
Like his own music and lyrics and everything?
Yeah. On GarageBand. Plays all the instruments. Ooh, put his hand up. Smartly decided to let it go, and Echeverria made the play. I listened to it. It's not great, but creative, and he wrote it himself. Kind of fun.
Let's crank it up.
Find it. Actually, a pretty scary moment last week for Webb as he faces Donnie Murphy. Hit in the back on the spine, actually, and by a line drive off the bat of Scott Hairston during batting practice. He was stretching at the time. Unfortunately, only suffered a bruise. Charged by Echeverria. Quick exchange from glove to hand.
Webb doing what he does best. The quick ground ball outs. His dad was a big league pitcher, Hank Webb. I remember with the Mets. He finished his career with the Dodgers. He spent a lot of time in the big leagues. Up to 4 or 5 seasons. In the 5th, Brian Bogusevic did this. Got the low ball in the air that time. See if he can do it here off Webb. Webb gets a little better sinking action on his fastball. Tougher challenge to lift this thing. As he throws it up above the knees.
Rondon and Parker.
So does Webb's intro song have lyrics, or is it just a musical
No,
piece?
it's just an instrumental.
Kind of a hard driving.
Yeah, kind of a hard rocky kind of thing. It's not particularly memorable, but like I said, it's his. And I give him a lot of credit for that. Oh, and 2.
Valuable guy to have.
Guy who can write his own music.
Guy who can write his own music. He wears orange nicely. And he throws a sinker at 93.
A topper that'll be fielded by Webb. Well, you were right on. Ground ball machine. Quick 1-2-3. We go to the 7th. The Marlins lead the Cubs 3-2.
Show us your receipts. We'll deposit $20 into your U.S. Bank checking or savings account. It's our special thank you for becoming a new credit card customer. Well, that's awfully nice. Nice debut there for Zach Roskup. Now it's Rondon.
Hector Rondon, the rookie, the Rule 5 pick with his 37th appearance. And his 1-0 to Stanton misses. Little rough landing there for Hector. 2-0.
Yeah, he gets a little out of sync with his delivery from time to time, and he fits the profile of what we were talking about last inning with Cabrera out there. Hard throwing guy, good heater, good life on his stuff, just inconsistent, struggles with his control. 97. Shake a tree and find guys that can throw 97. Cubs don't have a lot of them.
And the leadoff walk.
Pep talk from Valbuena. Pirates clinging to a one-run lead over the Brewers in the 8th. They activated Jason Grilli today. I'm not sure if he's going to be thrown back into that closer's role right away or not. I suspect not. Melanson's done a nice job.
There's a strike. Two and two.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, strike 3. Good comeback. They're walking Stanton.
Yeah, he just clips the inside corner and then the outside corner to finish off Ruggiano.
6 straight bad ones to start the inning, and then 3 consecutive called strikes.
Maybe overthrowing a little bit with Stanton in the box.
Certainly plausible.
Max Scherzer fell to 19-2. Red Sox beat the Tigers 2-1. John Lester with a win, 13-8 through 7 innings. Gave up a run, walked nobody, struck out 9. Scherzer 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Pretty good pitcher's duel there, boy.
Three and 1 on Morrison.
Sense that Morrison was bound and determined to swing there on 3-1. He was looking to hack.
Marlins leading 3-2 and trying to add on here. Stanton runs, ground ball right to Castro. He's going to step on the bag, and an easy 6-3 double play. Time for the stretch.
Tonight's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Big Ten Network football analysts Dave Rebson, Jerry DiNardo, and Howard Griffith.
Great to be a part of Big Ten night. Let's hear you, Cubs fans, good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes here out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses almost 100 years of history. For game days and non-game days, or to book your tour, visit Cubs.com/tours today. Not a one-trick pony. He's got a good slider to go with that sinker.
Still 3-2. All the runs coming in the fifth. 3 for the Marlins, 2 for the Cubs. Big swing by Castillo.
Man,
Close, didn't get it.
sharp tonight. This Marlin club, they don't win a lot of games. When they do, they win a lot of them like this. Low run affairs, they don't score well, but their pitching's been good. Both the starters and the bullpen. Pretty solid.
Slider was up that time. Out of the zone, 2-2.
Steve Cishek, the closer, has been on a real roll for the Fish for a good long while now. They're tough to beat late.
Oh, that was nasty. Castillo knew it immediately.
That's the whole key. Get strikes without throwing a lot of pitches over the hitting zone. I mean, that's what Webb has done. Down, 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 on the edges, on the knees.
Darnell McDonald. Pinch hit for Rondon. In his second inning of work. Ball one.
You say, well, why not a left-handed hitter? Well, a couple of reasons. One, Dale has a lot more right-handed bats on his bench, and two, Webb with that sinker is really tough on left-handed hitters.
Called strike.
Righties have been better against Webb than lefties have in terms of average and power.
Here it is. Swing and a miss. Indians had a 4-0 lead over the Orioles into the ninth. Gave up 3 and held on. 4-3. Non-save spot for Chris Perez. Not sure why, but a lot of times that closer comes in a non-save spot, and all of a sudden he finds trouble.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the mindset of the hitters. They have better at bats.
Busy night for Echeverria, especially with Webb on the mound. Third place made the last 2 innings.
Outfielders can pretty much shut it down. Astros had kind of a bizarre night. 1 for 3. That's a misfortune. Hit the ball very sharply. His second at bat bounced it off the pitcher. Kohler went right to third base for a 1-5-3 put out, and then he was rung up last time on a pitch that was off the plate inside.
On the corner, well, the White Sox had that nightmarish inning in a blowout loss yesterday to the Yankees. Tonight they took a 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 8th, gave up 5 and lost again 6-4.
Chris Sale started for the Sox tonight. I don't know how much of that was on him.
7 1/3. He gave up 2 runs, 3 earned. Nate Jones suffered the loss.
Bullpen and run support's been a big issue for Sale this year. He's 10-12, but he's been one of the best pitchers in the American League.
In the NL, the Braves improved to 51-19 at Turner Field with a 3-1 victory over the Mets. They won 20 out of 24 at home. They have the best home mark in baseball. 3-1 on Castro. Another ball getting out of the Marlins pen.
He's catching down there, Linus. Let's go, shake it up.
Pitchers always put it on the catcher. Echeverria and Webb with 2 spotless innings. That'll take us to the 8th. Still 3-2 Miami. away. And it's Ryan Sweeney. Check that. Brian Bogusevic, left-handed throwing outfielders, making similar catches. That one in deep left. Here's Blake Parker.
When you went into slow mo mode there, you sound a little bit like Harry the K.
That one is out here. At Chivaria. Top of the 8th. 3-2 Marlins. Ball 1.
What else do you do?
That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't really do a Harry Kalas impersonation. I just slow it down.
You're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
And a whiff of breeze now. It's warmer now than it was this afternoon.
It is. Started at 67. It feels warmer than that. Went after the high one, fouled it back. Right back at it tomorrow afternoon. Hey, Cub fans, make sure to celebrate Oktoberfest in the Budweiser bleachers during the final regular season night game of the year. Here at Wrigley, Tuesday, September 24th, when the Cubs battle the Pirates. It's Oktoberfest celebration night. Purchase your special Budweiser bleacher tickets through the special events page. Redeem an exclusive limited edition Cubs Stein. Fly to right. Nate Scherholtz. For more info or to purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com/special events. Comes Mathis, the catcher. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Would imagine we'll see former Cub Coy Hill behind the plate, along with Brian Flynn making his big league debut tomorrow. See, Mike Redmond's a former backup catcher, so I'm sure he does his best to take care of the number 2 catcher on the depth chart.
Yeah, the other consideration would be Brantley, because maybe
Brantley,
he's caught Flynn
back.
down.
That's right.
Maybe he's caught Flynn a little bit.
I forgot about Brantley. Yeah, the expanded roster. A roller into left for a base hit.
I don't know if you could hear it. I doubt anybody at home could hear it, but just prior to the pitch, there was a smattering of applause down the first baseline. And what happened was, in the Marlins bullpen, there was a ball, the pitcher threw a ball in the dirt, and the catcher blocked it. And cynical Cub fans down there gave him a round of applause, because about a half a dozen balls get loose out there tonight.
Jeff Urgelis, bullpen catcher. Well, how do you know it's not the pitchers who've been?
I saw that one on my eye. It was the ball was in the dirt, and he made a nice play to block it. So maybe it is on the pitchers. Having some fun with it.
He's going. He told me he's throwing a fastball, and he threw me a changeup. What am I supposed to do? The mask on the other side of his head. So he's out there to protect the bullpen catcher from the batter.
Yeah, but just
the
in
Marlins
case.
bullpen wants to protect him from the pitcher.
He didn't take one in the coconut.
Here's Greg Dobbs pinch hitting. Career .359 hitter against the Cubs. Parker's pitch is taken for a strike. Pinch hit homer Travis Snyder in the 9th inning, and the Pirates have taken a 4-3 lead in Milwaukee.
Smart money on Clint Hurdle for the National League Manager of the Year, but Freddie Gonzalez probably deserves some recognition too. Boy, of the year they've had down there in Atlanta. Bullpen's been banged up. B.J. Upton hasn't done a whole lot.
What about Don Mattingly?
They just keep on winning. Yeah, Donnie Baseball.
Outside 2-2.
Yes, you know that word's so difficult to figure out who deserves it and why. I mean, in reality, the best manager may be a guy in the club who finished 20 games under 500. You don't really know how much they've influenced their team. But typically that award goes to a manager of a team who exceeded expectations, who overcame adversity.
Strike 3. Dobbs is retired.
Tonight after Postgame Live, get a full recap of the day in Chicago sports with Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Chuck Garfien goes one-on-one with Brian Urlacher. Brian Kelly, Notre Dame football coach, looks ahead to the Michigan game. Don't miss Sportsnet Central tonight after Postgame Live, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
If that is the case, your definition of what the manager of the year is in most people's minds, I think Hurdle and Farrell.
Yeah.
Boston trying to go from worst to first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, looking back now, you go, well, yeah, obviously the Red Sox should compete. Well, they lost 93 last year. Murphy can't get it. Mathis will make the turn. Coughlin with a 2-out single.
You know, the other guy who get a lot of votes in the American League is Terry Francona with the turnaround the Tribe has had.
It is interesting, though, managers with good players get penalized, it seems.
Right. You were expected to win.
Bob Melvin would be another good choice.
Got it last year, didn't he?
He did. I think he got it over Buck.
How about Ron Washington in Texas?
Another good choice. 1-1 on Solano.
Nobody will accuse Blake Parker of nibbling. He attacks the strike zone. At that time, good stop.
Good play by Castillo.
Wasn't sure he had it. Solano's been their best with runners in scoring position. 364.
Deep breath by Parker in the pitch. In the dirt. Again.
Two real good blocks in this sequence by Wellington. I think sometimes the block of the ball in the dirt can be overstated. It's not normally not that difficult to play, but sometimes it is. He's been very quick. This one he really didn't have time to get out behind. He just had to pick it on the backhand side. This time quick feet put him in good position to knock that one down and control it.
Coughlin on the move on a 3-2 with 2 outs, and that ball driven to deep right. Sherholtz is back on it. It's over his head. Marlins are going to get 2. It's a double, and that's a big one. It's now a 3-run lead for the Marlins. Big night for Solano. That's his 3rd hit.
Yeah, this is impressive. I didn't think he had this kind of pop the other way, and obviously neither did the Cubs. Nate was shallow for him, as you would expect him to be. Solano doesn't have a lot of power. Figure on the off field he's not going to drive the ball that far. This time he did. Sherholtz runs out of time and space.
Brings up Yelich. So their lead back to 3. Two balls and a strike. Cubs bullpen is quiet. Reds now with 10 hits on the night.
Looking at the box score for the Reds Cardinals today in Cincinnati, 1-0 Reds win. Homer Bailey, 7 innings of 2-hit baseball. Cardinals managed just 2 hits in the game. But what strikes out or stands out more than anything to me, 20,219 in the ballpark.
That's it?
In Cincinnati for the Cardinals in the middle of this race.
Yeah, that's surprising.
It's game 2 of a 4-game series.
It's a big rival, too.
Yeah. School's back and all that, but man.
Parker again. Ground ball. Base hit. Yelich does it again. Back-to-back 3-hit games for the rookie to start this series, and it's 6-2.
Yeah, we talk all the time about samples and how you can get fooled by a small sample. You certainly can get fooled in spring training. You can get fooled in September with call-ups. But just watching this kid's approach, hearing what we've heard about him, what you read about him, and then you watch him swing the bat, looks like a guy who's going to have a lot of success in the big leagues. I don't know if he'll end up hitting a lot of home runs. I suspect the power will come. He's kind of looking like a young George Brett right now.
Not to put any pressure on him.
Yeah.
Michael Bowden is up.
Parker's been awfully good this year. It's a rare bad outing for him.
Stanton takes a strike.
Think about Blake's aggressiveness and willingness to attack the strike zone. I think that's the last thing Stanton expected right now is for him to channel a fastball.
Ooh, big cut and a miss. 0-2. Foul tip, strike 3, but a big 3-run inning for the Marlins. They now have a 6-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Pitcher gas gauge. Stats, tweets with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. A couple of changes for the Marlins. Placido Polanco now plays third, and the pitcher, left-hander Mike Dunn.
Dunn working for the 66th time and pretty effective. He gets 224 against him. Lefties just 202, and there's a string of lefties. Well, there was a string of lefties scheduled to bat here. Darwin Barney's going to take this AB.
Don't know how much celebrating the Pirates are going to do tonight, but they will not have a losing season. 81st win. This 2-0 on a pinch hitter Barney.
1992.
They were a playoff team that year.
3 years in a row leading into it, I believe. Back in the Bonds, Bonilla, Drabek, Van Slyke, that gang. Man, they had some good teams.
Driven out into deep center. Ruggiano's going to have space on the track. Here's Rizzo, sac fly in the 5th for the Cubs' second run. And the pitch by Dunn. Bouncer to first. It's 3-1.
Tom Kohler, the starter for the Marlins tonight, did not go the 5 innings needed to qualify for the win.
I think Ryan Webb is probably going to be.
You can get my vote.
The guy who would get the win if the Marlins hang on. How does it read? The most effective pitcher?
Yeah, you know, normally it falls to if the first guy out of the chute does his job. You know, a lot of times he but Jennings what 2/3 of an inning.
You have to say the most effective reliever tonight has been Ryan Webb. AJ Ramos. Two 2 on the Cubs right fielder Nate Scherholtz, 0 for 3. Cubs with only 4 hits. Castro single, Castillo double. Murphy with a single, Bogusevic with a homer. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Cubs without a hit since the Bogusevic homer in the 5th. They've been shut down completely by this bullpen. This climate, consider becoming a PNC Club of Chicago member for the 2014 season. The premier team is inviting interested parties to come on a game day and experience the club's luxurious atmosphere and amenities that include all-you-can-eat food, top-shelf drinks, and free parking. Call and make an appointment today. Cubs.com/premier for more info. Murphy moves to third. Barney takes over at second, and Michael Bowden is on to pitch. He gets Ruggiano to hit a major league pop-up. Could have read a promo before that one came down. Castro the catch. So if you spend any time in the Cubs clubhouse, you know that Michael Bowden is a serial stretcher. He is constantly stretching his arm, his calves. He just constantly. So I asked him today, what's up with that? He said, I was not very flexible, and when I signed, they told me, you know what, you might want to work on some stretching. He has become very flexible by doing all the stretches. He also does Bikram yoga in the off season, which is very good for your flexibility. That's the hot yoga he likes to do. You know, it's a 95 or 100 degrees.
Never done yoga?
No, I haven't. Much to my wife's chagrin. Morrison strikes out. I should, but I haven't. You?
No, I took a Pilates class a couple years back. It was good. A lot of good core work.
Yeah, it's good for you. There's no question.
Yoga, I would fail miserably at all the different poses.
No, but see, it's not about failing. Bowden, nice play off the mound. Good flexibility, Michael.
Nice flexibility and a little backhanded flip. And a quick inning.
That's
good, too.
Yeah. 6-2, Miami. Really haven't gotten pretty much all year. We're a scoring team in the majors, but 4-3 win yesterday, and they put up 6 tonight.
Pretty good numbers here for A.J. Ramos. 3-4, 320. Strikeout rate is good. Batting average against good. Just 4 home runs allowed in 70 1/3. Fastball. 93, 94 miles an hour. Slider, change, and a curve. Not a big guy, 5'10", solidly built, about 210. You can rush it up there.
Cutter missed in on Ryan Sweeney. Almost from Lubbock, Texas. 21st rounder out of Texas Tech in 09. 2-0. Texas Tech is in Lubbock.
Yeah, Red Raiders.
Makes sense.
You talk about a windy city. Wind always blows in Lubbock. People from West Texas, they walk with a slant because they're always walking into the wind.
Three and one on Sweeney. 3 and 2.
Be. Got a pitch to hit there. A little late getting to it. Down 4, didn't want to chase a bad pitch.
Leadoff walk. That's a start. You know, a game-winning 5-run rally has to start somewhere, and a leadoff walk's a good place.
So it's the old cliche, mighty oaks from tiny acorns grow.
Side corner on the ex-Marlin Donnie Murphy began the game at second. Now over at third. Oh, and 2. Kick the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. On a breaking ball.
Hard to fault him for not hacking at that one.
A big discussion online with the fan, I think it was on Twitter recently, about this very situation. I said something to the effect, Brian Bogusevic's job here is not to drive in a run, it's to get on base. And the answer was, you're always trying to drive in a run. And my response is, not now. A walk is as good as a 2-run homer.
Yeah, if you drive in a run, if it's a byproduct of the right approach, that's great.
Yep. He flies to center. The point is that right now, the one thing you're trying to do as a hitter is avoid making it out. Because the Cubs are down to 1.
Yeah, and that's why some would argue you should be taking there 2 balls, no strikes. But I have no problem swinging as long as you're swinging at a pitch you can drive, pitch you can hit the ball hard. I mean, I would have no problem taking there either. A lot of that, in terms of how aggressive you're going to be in a situation like this, is dictated by the pitcher. Does he have good command? Is he a guy who walks people? Does it make sense to be patient? Or you're just digging yourself a hole if you're up there trying to work a walk because he's going to make pitches and get the jump on you.
One and two. Blocked there by Mathis. Comes down to their final strike. And that's it. Castillo strikes out. And the Marlins have won the first 2 games of this series. A final tonight, 6-2. So they came in with the worst record in the National League. They still have the worst mark in the National League, but they have already clinched this series. And the Cubs need a win tomorrow to avoid the sweep. Time now for our GMC player of the game. We're going to go with the rookie Christian Yelich, who's had quite a series.
Yeah, he's the player of the series so far. 3 hits yesterday, including a home run. 3 more today. Single, double, single. Stole a base. Drove 1 home. Good looking young hitter.
So that'll wrap things up for JD and our entire CSN crew. And Casper at Wrigley Field, your final score. The Marlins 6, the Cubs 2. We are back with you tomorrow, 12:30 for the pregame first pitch at 1:20. Marlins and Cubs here on Comcast Sportsnet. Up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live.